There we go. Okay, we are recording. So let's take a moment and make sure that you are in a space that's nice and comfy, whether it's on a bolster, in a chair, flat on the floor. Please, if at all possible, make sure that the knees are below your hips, and also make sure that you are taking care of your legs. So like if your adductors are really tight, then please allow your legs to open wide and just place a little bit of a bolster or blanket underneath your knees so that they don't hyperextend. Okay. So once we've done that, let your hands come to rest, palms facing up. Let your eyes gently close. And before we move into our breath, just take a moment to kind of check in with your body and discover how it's feeling today. Do whatever fidget, whatever movements feel best, because it can take anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds for your body to really decide if it's happy in a posture or not. And then with the eyes closed, take a couple cycles of breath and allow your body to breathe you. And as you're allowing your body to breathe you without any effort to change the breath, just begin to observe how your body is doing. And one more time, as we're here, if you notice any shift, any change that you need to make in order to get really comfortable, to make sure that your shoulders can relax, feel yummy. And then before we move into our Chandra breath first, I want you to begin to find that full diaphragmatic breath, so that as you inhale, I want you to expand that low belly and then allow that breath to travel up through the solar plexus and all the way up to behind and below the collarbone. And then when you're ready, gently feel that exhale come through and release from behind the collarbone, then the solar plexus, and then finally drawing in and up through that low belly core. And using your own length of cycle, breath cycle, go ahead and do one more. And then when you're ready, I want you to go ahead and take your right thumb and go ahead and block that right nostril, or you can take your first two fingers and do the same thing, whatever is most comfortable. And what you're going to do is inhale and exhale through the left nostril, and you'll do 5 complete cycles of that breath. So again, you're still using that low diaphragmatic breath, taking that deep inhale, coming all the way in. If it feels comfortable at the top, please feel free to pause for 1 to 2 counts. And then as you exhale, again, feel the breath recede, coming from behind the collarbone down to the solar plexus, and then finally at the low belly. And begin to notice how your body begins to shift and change around this breath. And on this side, I invite you to do 2 more cycles of breath at your pace. And at the end of the second cycle of breath, I want you to go ahead and change so that now you're going to block off the left nostril and then begin to breathe into the right. And as you make this change, take a moment to notice if the quality of the breath changes with the nostril. It might be that as you change nostrils, the quality of the breath changes from the standpoint that one side might feel softer, one side might feel sharper, and you're still following your cycle of breath. And you'll take 2 more cycles of breath, going at your pace. And at the end of that last cycle of breath, go ahead and release the left fingers so that now you can do 3 full cycles of breath with both nostrils open. Notice the difference again in the quality of breath when you reach this place. And at the end of your 3rd cycle of breath, go ahead and bring your hands over your heart. Beautiful, you guys. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and move into sound and vibration. I want you to see if you can really concentrate the sensation in through the heart. Taking a moment as you sing to find what you need most, whether it's gratitude, love, joy, peace, whatever you need most. Just really allow it to resonate into your heart. So we'll start by singing the sound of ah, then we'll move into the sound of oh, and then the sound of mm. On the 4th breath, I invite you to set your intent for what you most desire or what you most need today from your practice. So still using that full deep belly breath, taking a deep full inhale coming from the low belly. And then when you're ready, gently, slowly allow the hands to float down. And with your eyes still closed, take a moment Really connect in. And then when you're ready, I want you to take a deep inhale, lengthen the arms all the way out, up. Let your eyes open. Gentle smile playing at the corners of the mouth. Breathe. And then when you're ready, I want you to bend into the elbows and lightly take that right wrist around the left hand. And before we begin, I want you just to take a moment right here. Oh, find your way into opening through the armpits as you take those inner edges of your shoulder blades and gently just feel the intent of drawing them slightly towards each other and towards the spine. Just very gently waking things up. And let it relax. Take another deep, full inhale. And as you exhale, gently allow your body to roll towards the left as your rib cage opens to the right. And again, not a big movement. Continue to follow that deep diaphragmatic breath. And then inhale, bring your arms up. Release the arms. Let them come all the way down. Take a moment to take a big, deep roll through the shoulders. And if it feels appropriate, move a little bit into your head and your neck. And then inhale. This time, arms come straight out to the sides. And again, gently squeeze those inner edges of the shoulders, finding the opening, waking up the shoulder or the wing, waking up your wings. Yes, exactly. And then let that release, palms face up. This time I want you to take that right hand around your left wrist, big bend into the elbows. And when you're ready, gently exhale, rolling yourself over to the right now. And breathe. One more cycle of breath right here. And then gently release, inhale up. This time allow the palms to face out, up as they come out. And then deep inhale, finish bringing them all the way up. Big breath of joy. Exhale, bring them down to the heart. And then deep inhale, come up. This time as you get ready to separate your hands, you're going to connect to the right hand. Allow that to come forward. Allow the left arm to float back, gently twisting yourself over to the left, and allow the arms to come all the way down. Feel the shoulders relax. Just moving into a very gentle twist. Finding ourselves through the center of our body. And then gently release. Inhale, flip those arms up. When they get to parallel, turn the palms up. And unwind, coming back to center, arms come back. Exhale, bring everything down to the heart, thumbs to the heart point on the sternum. And then release that, inhale back up. This time I want you to connect in with the left arm. Allow that to come forward as you exhale, sweeping that right arm back, gently twisting your way to the right. Allowing the arms to float down, deep full breath. One more cycle of breath right here. And then with your next inhale, float those arms up. When they get to parallel, turn the palms facing up. And inhale, finish all the way, unwinding. Exhale, coming down. Pause. And now inhale, bring your hands up to center and see if you can draw the elbows together. Breathe here. Feel the shoulders protract, feel them wrap, coming round to the front. And then when you're ready, with your next exhale, gently open wide. And exhale, let the arms hang. Breathe. See if they'll come back even just a little bit more. And then when you're ready, bend back into the elbows. See if you can bring them behind the arms. There we go, beautiful. Release. Inhale up. Exhale, bringing them back together. And then gently relax and release. Rolling back into the shoulders again. Okay, so before we do cow facing legs, our favorite, we're going to go ahead and open a little bit into the hips. So grab a block, please. Open your legs wide into a wide V. Again, please make sure that everything is comfortable. Okay, so that means that if your knees tend towards hyperextension, please put something underneath them. All right, and so we're going to begin right here and just simply bring the block in front and then just begin to hinge. Just a little bit. Beginning to find some opening through our abductor muscles. Long, slow, steady breath. Same breath that we started with. So you're still coming from the low belly. And then gently, slowly release. Okay. This time what we're going to do is we're going to do an adjustment, a little bit of a simpler version. So what I want to do in order to make sure that nobody is hyperextending, you're going to grab your second block. Your right leg is going to remain long, and I want you to place the block underneath the knee. Okay. Got it? Okay, good. Awesome. And prop it underneath the knee in such a way so that there's a slight bend, and you can still get your heel on the floor. There we go, good. Beautiful. Nice adjustment. Okay, next step is you're going to take this left knee, bring it towards you, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to lift and bring the knee across, okay? What you're going to do from here, if possible, is I want you to slide the knee all the way across so that there's really no space between the, it's funny, I know the anatomical word for it, but I don't know the common name. It would be the popliteal fossa. So it's that little hollow that you get behind the knee. So you want to make sure that that hollow behind the knee and then the right kneecap are kind of stacked and they're closed. Okay? And you're going to come as close to that as possible. I know I'm asking a lot, and this is everybody's favorite posture. Yes? Okay, this is one of the postures from the renal yoga. There we go. All right, from here, if you need to, you've got your block, your second block. But what you're going to do is you're going to hinge through the hip and come forward just enough so that you find that really yummy, delicious stretch. And for those of you that can do more, feel free to do more. I just know that for a lot of us, this is really difficult. So for a lot of us, what tends to happen, and this is one of the reasons why we dislike this posture, is that our abductor muscles get a little over tight, okay? Which means that then the gluteus medius and minimus, they really don't have much range of motion. and it's really difficult for them to find their way into this posture. And then I want you to just very gently, slowly release. Okay. You're going to, with loving kindness, bring that left leg out, shift the block, and now I want you to adjust, and we're going to do the same thing over on the left side. So we've got the block underneath the left knee, making sure that it is strategically placed so that the heel can still get on the mat. Then you're going to, with a lot of loving kindness, bring the right leg over. You can start it here. If that's as far as your body says yes to, you can just place a block right underneath your knee and do just that, okay? If your body says, no, I'd like to do a little more, then you're going to bring that right leg over so that the knees more or less line up. And when you're ready, gently exhale and hinge. Feel your body relax. You have your block so that if you need to lean on your block as you come forward, feel free. We're going to go ahead and do 2 more cycles of breath right here. And at the end of the second cycle of breath, you're going to just very gently, slowly release that. Again, with loving kindness, I want you to pick up that right leg, bring it over. Release the left leg so that you can remove the block. And now we're going to open back into our adductor muscle. So I want you to open. And again, I want you to take your block and gently hinge yourself forward a little bit. And remember, it doesn't have to be big, you guys. This can be really small. And breathe. Beautiful, you guys. Very nice. Good. One more cycle of breath. Okay. Gently walk yourself back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do one more set of these. So you can either do what we just did. If your body feels like it can do a little bit more, we're going to, again, you've got 2 options. So you can, actually we have 3. You can do what it is that we just did. If your body says, I think I've got a little bit more, you can try it without the block and bring the left leg up and over and come across this way. Or you can take the full posture, which is to bring that right leg across. So notice I have a large bend in my knee. And then bring the left leg up and over so that we're stacked like this. So please take whatever variation of what we're doing feels best for you, okay? And then notice if, as we're doing this, your left hip really wants to hike up. So it's just an observation, okay? If it's hiking up, there's some tension there. So we just need to observe that, okay? There's a whole lot of hip flexors up there, and they're not used to moving like this. So again, as your body says yes, you can begin to just gently hinge forward. And if you want to just like really let your torso relax, you can just place a block and just kind of hang out and breathe. So remember, there's 3 different ways that you can do this. So just please do what feels most appropriate for you. And I love the variation that Maggie is showing, which is she's got a block horizontally in front of her. And then she has a block stacked so that she can bring her head down to that. So that's lovely too. So lots and lots and lots of options. Okay. This is just about finding your way so that it feels comfortable. And that you can at least pretend like you're having a good time. And then gently, slowly release. Bring yourself out. This is one of those postures where if you can, this is a great posture to turn into a yin pose. So you're going to get yourself really comfortable and then set the timer for about 5 minutes and stay in here for about 5 minutes each side. It's really delicious. So as what I'm doing, I'm taking my left leg and I'm unwinding. Taking my right leg and I'm unwinding. Oh, we're going to spread wide through the legs. And just pause here a minute to let everything. So you guys, what we're doing is we're playing between gluteus medius and minimus. And then we're playing with our adductors, okay? Because they're what's known as an agonist and an antagonistic pair. So it's important to have fluidity and flexibility through both. Gently release that. Here we go. Left leg come under. Right leg come up and over. And again, you're taking whatever variation feels best, and you might find that you have one side that's a little bit more amenable to this posture than the other, and that's normal too. We have all these movement patterns, and they do different things on different sides. It's one of the things that the yoga is really wonderful at, helping to balance the differences so that we can have equality through both. And breathe. Make sure that you're really finding your way into a place of ease, okay? One of the things, if this is a posture that feels like it's a little bit challenging for you, is see if at the top of your inhale, you can pause your breath for anywhere for 2 to 4 counts. And then allow your body to exhale. For many people, this actually helps their bodies find a space of relaxation so they can move in a little bit more. Wow, you guys, everybody's doing great. And breathe. And then very gently, very slowly, release, unwind. Okay, with loving kindness, I want you to unwrap the right, unwrap the left. One more time, moving into Upavista Konasana or wide-legged forward fold. Gently bring your block in. And find that yumminess. Wow, look at y'all go. That's great. Ladies, that is a huge difference. Go. Very nice. And I do mean all of you. I can see some of you going, well, she's not talking to me. Yes, I am talking to you. Everybody is further forward than they were when we first started, so go team. And then very gently, very slowly, bring yourself up, okay? All right, you guys, so now we get to do a little bit of core, all right? Everything that I keep coming across, it's like, core is supposed to activate with everything. Can I just tell you, it is. Sorry, I know, exactly. So we're gonna do 2 different pieces today. First piece is that I want you to go ahead, and the reason why we're gonna do this is that I came across several studies last night as I was working on my final. There we go. That says that their data is showing, which I find really intriguing because we do this in yoga all the time, is that by practicing your Uddiyana Bandha or by contracting the abdominal muscles that are about 2 inches below your navel and really drawing them up and in and squeezing, it actually helps activate your gluteus maximus muscle. How cool is that? So we're going to take a few times and we're going to practice that. So the first thing I want you to do is, again, find that full belly breath. So you're going to take a deep inhale, filling from the bottom, filling all the way up to below your collarbone. pausing if you choose at the top. And then as you exhale, coming down from the top to the bottom, I want you to find that low belly, and I want you to draw it in towards the spine, up towards the diaphragm a little bit. And then I want you to just take a moment and squeeze through the glutes. And you're going to keep breathing. So I want you to see if you can keep that contraction through the low belly. And you can put your fingertips right there just to make sure that you're still staying contracted. And I want you to push your breath so that instead of coming all the way down from the low belly, it actually comes from just above where you have your muscles contracted. And now I want you to let all of that relax and let everything soften. And let everything relax. Okay. And with your hands so that the fingertips are on the front of your pelvic bone, I want you to take this right hip and I want you to draw that right hip. So you're sliding on your mat. So you're not lifting, you're just sliding that right hip up towards your waist. So you're lengthening down through the left hip, making sure that this is a comfortable movement. And then let that release, bring yourself back. And then on the other side, bring that left hip up and feel that right hip drop down. Again, you're sliding on your mat. So there's no lift here, you're just sliding, and we're just starting to bring some proprioceptive awareness into our pelvis. And then bring that back. And then one more time, I want you to take a deep inhale, come from that low belly, bring it all the way up. Exhale, let it come down. And at the bottom, I want you to squeeze that low belly up and in. And if it feels appropriate, squeeze into the glutes as well. And now this time, what I want you to do from this space of activation, so you're drawing in through that low belly, you're gently squeezing through the glutes. I want you to bring your arms up so the fingertips are facing towards the ceiling. And just as we slid our pelvis, I want you to feel the contraction through that right abdominal side and slide your torso a little bit over to the right. And you're squeezing and you're still contracting. And then inhale, bring it back. Let your body relax. Arms are still fingertips towards the ceiling. Take another deep, full inhale coming from that low belly. Breathe it all the way up to underneath the collarbone. Pause if you choose. And then when you're ready, exhale. Drop it all the way down. Finish by drawing up and in through the low belly. Gently squeeze through those glutes. And then squeeze on that left side. Rotating your torso a little bit to the left. And squeeze. And then gently release. Come back to center. And one more time with your fingertips still up towards the air. We're going to isolate a little bit, and we're going to do a variation of Sept or bridge. So your heels are back towards your sits bones. You're going to take a full deep inhale. As you exhale, I want you to draw in through that low belly, squeeze through those glutes, and now press down through the feet and gently lift the sacrum and that lumbar spine just a little bit up off the mat. Keep squeezing all the way through the glutes, into that low belly, and keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. One more full inhale. And then as you exhale, this time gently, slowly lower the spine down, release the glutes, release the belly.
feel that center of your body release and relax, and we're going to do that one more time. So take a deep inhale, come from the low belly. Bring it all the way up to underneath the collarbone. When you're ready, as you exhale, come from the top down at the end, squeeze into that low belly, squeeze into the glutes, and then gently lift as you press down through your feet. Lift the glutes and the lumbar spine. Keep engaging through that low belly and breathe above it. And then with the next exhale, gently, slowly lower that lumbar spine, that sacrum, and the glutes down. Release the arms. And just feel the softness. Okay. From here, you're going to draw your knees into your chest. You're going to gently roll yourself over onto your side. And we're going to do this really quickly because it's important. One of the things that keeps coming up as well in the literature is that your gluteus medius, which runs right along here, is incredibly important for low back health. And a lot of us, this area is weak, okay? It's one of the reasons why we started with cow facing pose and then opened into a wide-legged forward fold. So one way to test it is to bring the leg up and then hold and breathe, okay? If this is difficult, if your body fatigues quickly, then you know that this is an area that could probably use some TLC. Okay? So there shouldn't be any tension through the neck, right? And then gently draw it down. Okay. So this is where, you know how you have to do the clamshells where it's like you open and you squeeze and then you close, right? This is one of those gluteus medius exercises. Okay. So let's try the other side. Because sometimes we have one side where the gluteus medius is fine, and then the other side is like, oh, but I don't want to do that. So we're going to just test. So again, when you're ready, you're going to come up to about 30 degrees, breathe, and hold, and just see how your body does. Notice if you have one side, if it's easier on this side than it was on the other. Okay, right? So the side that has a little bit more weakness to it, that's the side that you want to make sure that you're giving the TLC so that you have that symmetry between both sides. Okay. And then gently draw it down. Now, I also did that because guess what? Now we're going to be tricksy and we're going to come up into tabletop. Oh, sometimes I make myself laugh. Okay. So from here, you guys, what we're going to focus on right here is a high plank. So please know, we're going to activate a lot through. So here's what you guys need to know. High plank from the knees, which means that your knees are going to be just a little bit behind the hips. Okay, right here, believe it or not, as you draw in through your core, you are holding up 52% of your body weight right here. Okay, if you extend your legs and curl underneath your feet and bring yourself into full plank, pressing down firmly through the hands. If this is too much on the wrists, I want you to either take a towel and place it on the base of the palm, or I want you to make soft fists. Okay? I want you to take care of the wrists. If you were up here in full plank, you were holding, are you ready for this? 69% of your body weight right here. Just doing this. So I want you to breathe. I want you to feel that core shimmy shake. And I want you to pretend like you're having loads of fun and that you have waited all day just to do this. And then gently bend into the knees. And from here, as long as it still feels okay for the wrists, I want you to gently take yourself into a cow. But rather than focusing on what that low back is doing and how it is making a lordotic curve, I want you to focus on the front and feel how much you can open into that abdominal space. And breathe. And then gently release that. Unwind that curve so that you move into dropping into the pelvis. And then lifting and separating through the shoulders, tucking the chin high up and into the chest, moving yourself into cat. And then gently release. Now I want us to come down onto our forearms. Finger palms are either going to touch or fingers are going to interlace. Walk those legs back. Come down onto the hips. Beautiful, you guys. Good. Okay. Again, making sure that the shoulder and the elbow are approximately in line. From here, we're going to do what's known as a half dolphin plank. So when you're ready, if possible, I want you to curl underneath the toes. And then again, you're going to lift yourself up into a straight line. Breathe. Squeeze. Guys, this is really good for several different muscle groups. It's good for your triceps. This is good for your serratus anterior. This is good for your pectoralis major. This is good for your abdominals. We love it. Gently release. Bring yourself all the way back down. This time, bring your forearms down to the mat. And we're going to move ourselves into Sphinx. So I want you, again, to focus through the front abdominal wall and feel the stretch there. You are resting the hips on the mat. You're gently pulling back just a little bit with the forearms and opening into the front side of the body. And then gently, slowly release. Press yourself back into whatever variation of child's pose feels best to you. So that means that if knees are cranky, I want you to keep your hips higher and away from the sits bones. If knees are not cranky and low back can handle it, gently take yourself into the full expression. But I want you to do what feels best for you. Lovely, everybody. Good. Okay. Gently, slowly release that. And we're going to come up onto our knees. Okay. So you guys, we're going to spend a little bit of time here. So please make sure, if knees are sensitive, that you have lots of padding underneath them in order to keep them really happy. We want happy, happy knees. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start putting things together and make them a little bit functional and a little bit more like a vinyasa, where we're really moving a little bit more with our breath. So if possible, I want you to start with your hands to your hips. You're going to begin by stepping the left foot forward. So squeeze through the glute a little bit, shift over onto the right side, and gently step. that left knee forward. Okay. Now, please make sure that you are at least at knee and ankle are in line. If you know that hips are pretty open, you can walk your knee back a little bit, because the next step here is going to be hands to hips, and allow the hips to drop down and forward. So we're dropping into our lunge. Beautiful, you guys. Good. Good, good, good. And breathe here. Your chair, if you need it, is right here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell everybody to get their chair. So let's step out, because that's not fair. Grab your chair, everyone. So sorry. My bad. Okay. Beautiful. Ladies, thank you. And I'm sorry for my bad cueing. Okay, here we go. So one more time. Step that left foot forward. And from there, gently bring the hips forward and down. There we go. Take your time, find your space. If you need to, you have the chair right here so that you can lightly rest your hands on top of it, okay? I want this to be comfortable. Now, there's two ways to do the next part. You can either bring the hips back out a little bit so that you are not quite so deeply into your lunge. Curl underneath those right toes and gently lengthen up. Or if you feel that you have the strength and can take the load, you're going to stay where you are, curl underneath the toes, and gently lengthen yourself into a lunge. But here's what I want you to do. We tend to do this all from the leg, and guess what? It's our glutes that should actually be doing some of the work. So I want you to squeeze a little bit through the glutes as you're here. It's going to make the legs feel lighter, and because our glutes are fairly lazy and don't like to work, it's also going to make the posture feel a little bit more difficult. So from here, I want you to begin to shift through the hips, lengthening the hips back and up, and gently begin to straighten into this left leg. Now I want you to do this slowly so that you do not stretch too fast through the hamstring. Then just breathe. Notice what your shoulders are doing. If they're up here by your ears, I want you to focus on finding that lower edge of the shoulder blade and drawing it down. So you have lots of space between the top of the shoulders and the ears, and you are activating through, your trunk. Okay, we're gonna go for kind of a big move, so I want you guys to take as many steps as you need to. Are you ready? You're gonna take this left foot and you're gonna bring it back towards your right. So press down through the hands into the chair and step back. And take yourself into plank. Woo! Look at you all go. Sassy ladies, I love it. Breathe. Okay, I want you to use your core. If your hips are starting to sag, nope, bring them back up. Squeeze through those glutes. Beautiful, nice adjustment. All right, if you can, bend into that right knee. Step it forward. Good. Now, we're in our lunge. Breathe here. Very nicely done. Look at you all go. And when you're ready, gently bend into the left knee, bringing it all the way down. Come onto the top of the foot. And as long as it feels safe, sink the hips forward and down. And breathe. And when you're ready, shift the hips back, step that right foot back, hinge back, bring the hands down one at a time, and take whatever variation of child's pose feels best. I want us to let that low back in the glutes stretch, open, and ease. One more cycle of breath right here. Okay, very gently, very slowly, bring yourself back up into tabletop. Walk your hands back, bring yourself back up to your knees. Okay, guess what? Now we have to do the second side. So again, this time I want you to shift your body weight into that left side and step that right foot forward. As long as your body says yes, I want you to bring the hips forward and down. If you need the seat, please use it. Breathe here. Beautiful, very nicely done. Everybody looks awesome. Good. Now, from here, remember we have two ways to do this. You can either take yourself out of the intensity, curl underneath the toes, place the hands on the seat of the chair, and lengthen. Or, if your body's comfortable, from this deeper version of lunge, you can curl underneath the toes and lengthen the leg. So please take what feels best. Breathe. Now, again, notice if the legs did the work rather than the glutes, and I want you to begin to squeeze into those glutes. And squeeze. So again, we're feeling lighter through the legs as we squeeze through the glutes, but because we're engaging through the glutes, the body may begin to shake. From here, gently, slowly shift the hips back and a little bit up so that you can begin to lengthen into this right leg. You can leave as much bend in the knee as you need to because you're only taking this to a place that feels really yummy. Breathe. Feel your body as you're here and as you prepare for movement. Now, again, take as many steps back as you need to. You're going to begin by squeezing into that left glute a little bit and squeeze into the right. Press down through the hands so that you can step back and into plank. Breathe here. Check in with the shoulders. Are they rolling up towards the ears? If they are, find that lower edge of the shoulder blade and draw down. Use your core. When you're ready, take as many steps with that left leg. Step forward. Beautiful, you guys. Stay here for a moment. Find that lunge. Get nice and comfy. Beautiful, good. Very nicely done. Gently drop into the right knee now. Come on top of the right foot. Breathe. Feel that opening. And then when you're ready, gently, slowly step back. Bring your hands down. And one more time. Take whatever variation of child's pose feels best for you, whether it's hips high or hips lower. One more cycle of breath. And then very gently, very slowly, bring yourself to tabletop. Okay, we're gonna try something, you guys. So I want you to make sure that this feels good. We've got lots and lots of options for you. I'm gonna adjust my mats a little bit so it's a little bit easier for you to see what it is that I'm doing. So the first thing you're gonna do is change your chair so that you now have the back to your side. Okay, here we go. So I have my chair back right here. Okay, I'm starting at my knees. Okay, we good? All right, so as you do this, your chair is off to the side. Please make sure that you have your mat directly in front of you. So if you need to adjust it so that your mat's in front of you, please make the adjustment. Beautiful, thank you, awesome. I just want to make sure everybody stays safe. Okay. All right, here we go. Are you ready? You guys are gonna be like all cool and kicky. So what we're working on is not only the yoga, but we're also working on really building that core strength and getting some functionality, right? Like one of the things that we really need to make sure that we work on is that we can get up and move around from any plane in gravity. It's really easy to let that stuff slip. So I want you to start with your left leg forward. Okay? Okay? Now, this is going to be the fun part. I want you to press down either on the back of the chair or on the seat of the chair as hard as you need to. What you're going to do is you're going to engage through this left glute, all right? And you're going to bring yourself to standing as close to one movement as possible. So that means it may start with many steps, okay? But start by squeezing through that left glute, you guys. I really want that one engaged. Now engage through the core, press down through that left foot, and step up, and then bend your knee if possible. Look at you guys go. Woo! All right, here's the fun part. Now you're gonna take that right knee and you're gonna bring yourself all the way back down to where we started. So when you're ready, deep inhale, squeeze into that left glute. Push back, step down, and come down. Look at you go! Yay! Ladies, that was exquisite. Are you up for it again? Should we do one more time? Okay, one more time. Use your chair. When you're ready, squeeze into this left glute and press down through the left foot and come all the way up, bend into the knee. Good. Step it back. Beautiful. Good. All right, now let's do the other side. So move your chair to the other side. Hands on the back. Okay. Now please notice as we do this, how it feels as we change to the other side. Okay. So here we go. Step the right foot forward. Beautiful, you guys. Okay, this time, squeeze the right glute. Wake it up. It's gotta work. Right hand is on the back of the chair. Press down through the foot. Are you ready? You're gonna bring yourself all the way up through and bend the knee. Nice. Look at y'all go. When you're ready, bring it all the way back through. Good. Very nice. Beautiful. Okay. One more time. Squeeze into the glute. Press down. You guys be very careful because like what I notice is that this side, my knee wants to move in. It wants to become a little knock knee. That means that my hamstring is not firing enough. So fire the glute. Here we go. And press down. Come up. And exhale, bring it back down. Beautiful. Oh, ladies, I'm so proud of you. Yay, go team. All right, we're gonna do a little back bend. So you can either keep it on this side or you can bring it over to the other side, doesn't matter. You got your chair. What I want you to do is turn around. Oh, sorry, I did the chair the wrong way. My bad. Change it so that the seat's now facing you. There we go. Okay, now you're gonna bring your feet underneath the chair and so that it's comfortable for your hands to be on the back of the seat or the side of the seat. So from here, I want you to squeeze those inner edges of the shoulders together. Lift through the torso so the heart is opening towards the ceiling. Squeeze into those glutes a little bit and feel the opening through the front of the body, through your abdominal wall. Breathe. And then gently, slowly release. Shake out those shoulders. Okay. If you need to readjust your mat because we're going to come back down. Okay. All right, here we go, all the way back down. Okay. So from here, rolling down. Okay. Let me adjust the camera real quick. Take a moment here and just kind of feel your body. All right, so you have a choice. You can either leave the right leg up, or excuse me, your left leg up and bring, or you can lengthen the left leg down. So it really is dependent on what feels best for your body. Your right leg is going to come up at the knee, and then I want you to bring the sole of your foot towards the ceiling. We're going to go ahead and do half blissful baby. You're going to take this right hand, bring it up along the inside, and lay the palm of your hand across the sole of your foot. So your hand is acting almost like a stirrup. And just breathe. Allow gravity. So you're not pushing with the sole of your hand or the palm of your hand. You're just allowing gravity to do its work. Now, to bring this from a passive to an isometric pose, what I want you to do is squeeze through the glute, push the sole of the foot into the palm of the hand without making any movement. We're just activating the muscles, asking them to wake up. One more cycle of breath. And then allow everything to become passive once again. And allow it to soften. From here, I want you to take your left hand. You're going to bring it underneath, so in between the shin and that right arm. Wrap the left hand across the calf, upper calf. Release that right arm. Right arm or right hand now comes to the outside of the knee. I want you to work towards bringing that leg across the center of the body. So the leg is now moving towards the left. And you're still keeping as much of the back of the pelvis on the mat as possible. If it feels comfortable, you can interlace your fingers around the lateral side of the knee, creating protection. When you find that really yummy space of stretch and opening, just relax. Breathe into that space. And then when you're ready, again, just as we did before, we're going to activate and ask the muscles to turn on. So you're going to make this an isometric stretch. So push the knee into the hands. So nothing's moving, but you just feel that activation of the glutes, activation of that lateral hamstring, which is the biceps femoris. Just breathe. And then as long as it feels comfortable, you can release the right hand, bring it out to T formation, and very gently bring yourself into a twist. So you're allowing hips to stack. And pause where it feels really yummy, really comfortable. And then I want you to breathe into that lateral right side. And then very gently, very slowly unwind. Moving into Pavana Mukhatasana, I want you to interlace your fingers either just below the kneecap or underneath the knee, depending on what feels best for your body. And then gently draw that leg, feeling it ease towards your shoulder. One more cycle of breath. And then gently, slowly release the leg. And again, you can either keep this right leg bent or you can lengthen it all the way down. And I want you just to take a pause here and feel the difference between the right side and the left side. Full, deep diaphragmatic breath, starting with the low belly. Okay, and when you're ready, gently bend into that left leg. Bring the sole of the foot up to the ceiling. Left hand slides along the inside and the palm drapes across the sole of the foot. And just like the other side, this first part is just passive. We're just allowing the body to relax. allowing the body to find its stretch. And from here, we're going to go ahead and make it isometric. So I want you to squeeze into the glute. Press the sole of the foot into the hand without actually making any movement. Just waking everything up, waking the muscles up. Continue to find that full breath. And then when you're ready, gently let it release. This time you're going to take the right hand, slide it in between the left hand and the top of the shin. Once your hand is on the lateral side of the calf, you're going to release that left arm and very gently, very slowly, keeping the back side of the pelvis working on the ground, gently begin to lead that left leg over towards the right. And when you find that appropriate space of stretch, if your body says yes, you can interlace your fingers around the lateral side of the knee and just pause here. Again, coming into the space of quiet, just allowing the body to find its way into the opening that you're asking for. From here, when you're ready, you can move this into something that's more isometric by squeezing in through the glute and gently pressing the knee into the hands. Hands are either underneath the knee, they're on top, they're interlaced. They're just creating stability so that you have something to press that thigh into. And breathe. One more cycle of breath as you keep that thigh activated, and then gently let it release. You can release this left hand, bringing it out into approximately T formation. And as long as your body says yes, shifting through the hips, keeping them stacked, you can take yourself into a very gentle twist. And breathe. So right hand is wrapped around the outside of the left knee. You can take this into an isometric piece if you choose, or you can just allow your body to stretch in and be soft. One more cycle of breath. And then gently, slowly release. Take yourself into knee towards the shoulder for Bandha Utkatasana. You can either interlace behind the knee or just below it. Feel everything soften and release. Beautiful. Very nicely done. And then gently release that leg. Let it float down. And make whatever adjustments you need to so that you can bring yourself into your final relaxation, your final Savasana. If you feel like, once you're there, If you have any remaining tension in your body, anything that still is asking to be adjusted, you take a full deep inhale. And then on the exhale, I want you to squeeze all parts of your body. Just really squeeze the toes, squeeze the legs, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, squeeze the shoulders, the arms, the face, and then allow it to relax. Gentle, slow movement. Gentle, slow breath. And as you're here, before you allow everything to get quiet and float away, take a moment to thank yourself for making time for your practice. Thank you. Thank yourself for making time for your breath. Enjoy this deep state of peace that you've worked so hard for. Gently, slowly begin to find your way back. Starting with fingers and toes, hands and feet, and allow them to make whatever movements feel best and most natural. And then from there, allow the awareness to travel through the body and back into the breath, taking a full deep inhale and exhale through the nose. Bringing in fresh oxygen, fresh life. If you choose, use your breath to bring your arms up and over your head to stretch and lengthen. Finding space. And then gently draw the knees high into the chest. Wrap your arms around however feels best. Giving yourself one last gentle hug. And then gently press yourself up into seated position. Let your hands come to your heart, thumbs to rest at the heart point on your sternum. Thank you so profoundly much. So appreciate that I get to be part of your practice and part of your day. I honor the divine in you, that is the divine in me, that is the divine in all of us. Namaste, and may the blessings be.